Finally, there appears to be, descending upon the heavyweight division, a meaningful heavyweight fight, as it has been announced that Alexander Usyk will take on Danny Dubois on August 26 from Wrocław, Poland. Usyk will defend his titles. Let's talk about it. The heavyweight division is where it's at in boxing, and typically, as go the heavyweights, so goes the rest of boxing. That typically has been the way the narrative has flown for generations. But now we're seeing that people are breaking tradition and not seeking to uphold the dignity or sanctity of what has always been in place. Fighters of today are marching to a different tune, and some of us are finding it quite difficult to understand exactly what's going on. And such is the case when former undisputed cruiserweight champion, now unified heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk sets forth to take on Daniel Dubois on August 26th from Poland. These two men are fighting because Usyk was not able to get his fight deal settled against Tyson Fury for undisputed. So now he brings his record of 20-0 with 13 KOs and matches him against the WBA regular champion Danny Dubois, who's 19-1 with 18 KOs and is seeking his opportunity for a world title shot. And you can see the play that is being made here, and the consensus typically stands that Dubois can represent a new era if he's able to upset the path of Alexander Usyk. And I state upset because Usyk is entering this bout and he has a number of things that are going for him, factors that do make a difference as far as where he is in his career. And it is to be respected what he is, and that is average fighter, boxer. He can display skills as he comes into the ring, typically 6'3", around 220 pounds. He represents a heavyweight stature of a generation gone by, but his skill set and his success in the amateurs, which have always had a solid foundation of boxing, that has assisted in his success professionally. You cannot overlook that, and I think many people do. The mere fact that he was able to outbox Anthony Joshua on 2 back-to-back occasions supports this notion. So Dubois, who is coming in as a youthful heavyweight at the age of 25, he is strong and a powerful puncher, and he's willing to get in there to try to mix it up. It's just that he doesn't have the boxing ability nor amateur background to back up. That youthfulness and the exuberance behind it will assist him with his 6'5" frame and 78-inch reach, and his activity. Within his past 6 fights going back to 2020 in August, he's fought Ricardo Snidgers, he's fought Joe Joyce, which that's where his single loss came from, Bogdan Dinu, Trevor Bryan, and in his most recent fight, Kevin Lerena. Now, the fight against Lerena saw Dubois be successful, but he also had a problem with Usyk, because Usyk happens to be an unorthodox southpaw. He has pretty decent lateral movement. He negotiates real estate and judges distance very well. He can dart in and out. He can dart left to right. He can put Dubois on the move in their fight, and I expect him to do just that. And seeing that Anthony Joshua is a more imposing physical presence than Danny Dubois is, I don't believe that Usyk is nervous about the opportunity. Joshua was a little bit afraid to let his hands go against Usyk, having been stopped himself, but I don't believe Dubois will present that. In his fight against Joe Joyce, what he showed us was he didn't have the answer to a jab being put in his face consistently over rounds. He lacks upper body movement, and his footwork needs vast improvement. And that hasn't happened since his last fight, where he actually came away with a knee injury, and he's coming in against a fighter who can be mobile when he wants to. That is something we'll have to watch out for. Will Dubois, who is more mechanical and robotic in his physical stature than Anthony Joshua, be able to present challenges outside of just being a strong physical presence in front of Usyk? Usyk is accustomed to that, having fought many styles in the amateurs and in the pros, and he will be able to improvise and make adjustments. Being a small heavyweight by today's standards means that he's going to have to utilize options. He can't fight just one way, nor do we expect him to fight one way. I expect Usyk to be able to challenge Dubois. Now, what's interesting is many people don't speak about his power, but Usyk obviously has enough power to be respected, because even Joshua didn't run in against him. And when Derek Chisora back in October of 2020 tried to apply the pressure, Usyk was able to use enough lateral movement and ring generalship to keep Chisora huffing and puffing. So when you think about it, Daniel Dubois is going to have some answers for what the problems are that Usyk can present. Now, his durability is also in question. We have to know that he can remain focused, because if Usyk starts to make it a chess match, does Dubois have the wherewithal to be in there and to actually challenge himself to checkmate the moves of Alexander Usyk? All in all, I expect it to be a competitive match where Usyk, unless he has a mental lapse or something of that nature to allow Dubois to get in a big shot to hurt him, that's the only thing that I see for Dubois. But Dubois is not Mike Tyson. He's not a guy that's going to cut you down and leave you with very little time to think. I believe Usyk is going to get into Dubois' head in this fight. And once Dubois realizes he can't box with this man, who is a seasoned fighter, even at the age of 36, Alexander Usyk is not afraid to go in there and do what's necessary. And believe you me, If he is able to get Dubois in any kind of trouble, if Dubois' knee happens to surface as a problem in this fight again, expect Usyk to take full advantage. And I expect him to come out victorious in this fight. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. On August 26th, do you think that Danny Dubois can become the new unified champion of the world? Let's talk about it. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone remain safe.